now. Welcome everybody to the Pedro and Hannibal podcast. Now, if you are listening on the audio side, you do not notice anything new about me or even Pedro. But if you are watching and if you're live right now, you may
Where your
notice I don't
glasses at,
have.
bro?
Thank you, Pedro. I was talking to Pedro for a good 5 minutes, and he didn't ask me about my glasses. Shows that he does not care about
Well,
me or notice anything
I
about me.
literally just looked at him now because I was just listening. Hannibal
He
rambles.
just
Hannibal loves to talk, and I talk a lot of shit. And when Hannibal loves to hear his voice, and I look at like, we ain't got no glasses. What? So tell me, man. Go ahead. I'm not, you go ahead. Go ahead.
The good Lord healed my sense of sight. No, actually, I'm contacts. It's been a couple of years since I had them. I realized with the health insurance, it kind of give you a decent kickback for vision, and I was like, let me I actually went to the eye doctor like a damn near a month ago. They finally showed up, and I popped them in. I'm like, oh, let me see how I look. Maybe I could finally get some more views here if I'm more attractive.
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you because I'm looking at. Let me see. Hold on. I can't. Might need something more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might need a little something more.
Like a whole different face. Like a whole different person's face, maybe.
No, man, it looks good. You actually look younger without glasses.
If I didn't have this beard, I would look like I'm 15.
You look younger.
Yeah. Black don't crack. Koala, hello, how are you doing? He's trying to look cute for LA.
Koala, she knows.
No, not at all.
She knows. Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll jump right into what we're going to be doing in about a week and a half, or
what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, so basically a week from tomorrow. So we're going to be getting
So me and Pedro are having a trip together. That sounded weird. To LA for a conference. You call that a conference?
I think together. So. Conference. Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah.
Business. We in business. And we going to a conference, and we're going to LA. The first time I've been to LA. I think Pedro's his first time as well. And I'm trying to figure out, like, we didn't really have a lot of conversation on what's the dress code? What's the vibe? Like, well, how are you going to come in? Are you just going to come in with what you do?
What I do? What is that supposed to mean?
Casual,
I look like a hobo. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, hippie casual look.
Yeah, I am very casual. Yeah. Good question. I think it's going to be, it's not like a dress up kind of deal. It's not even like business casual, but I do think there will be people there that will be business casual. There'll be a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of khakis and like nice jeans with like nice little shoes and like button ups and polos. We're going to see a lot of that.
Should we fit in? Should we get the LA? Are we gonna walk around looking out of place?
No, I think I'm just gonna. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna. It'll depend on the weather, I guess. Check the weather out, but I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna dress how I dress, man. I'm probably gonna have I'll wear shorts if I will wear shorts if it's nice out. If it's not, I'll wear some nice pants, I guess, and then some kind of just like a shirt. I don't really.
Hey, bro, we gotta listen. We're out of towners.
We renting tuxedos. What do you want us to do? We running tuxedos?
I don't know. Like, do we look like Mark Zuckerberg? Just the gray shirt?
Are we gonna be like Step Brothers, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly? Are we gonna match and go to this Catalina wine mixer and like sing songs and shit? Like, what?
You know what? Good thing we have the people in the chat throwing out some good advice. So Bobby says Southern California is very casual unless you're going to court.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, we're not planning to go to court. Not yet. I was actually wondering. I was interested in asking you: should we hang out in the hood?
Yeah.
Should we just go in the hood just to check? Yeah. Do you want to just hang out, listen to some? I mean, we don't want to look out of place, but I don't mind checking the hood out. I didn't go to your hood in St. Louis.
Where you stayed in St. Louis, you weren't too far from the hood, actually.
No. It felt great. It was amazing. But I wasn't.
If you take a few turns, it can get a little crazy over there. But we're not going to the hood. We're going to be with a lot of like business people, and Hannibal and I will probably be on the lower run of the.
Yeah. This conference is going to be. It seems like a lot of business entrepreneurs, also like technology, and like people who are running restaurants. And we two dumb dicks are just like, we shoot videos and
yes, facts.
But
facts.
So we should wear suits. You're right. Let's suit up. Let's show these motherfuckers like, hey, listen, we're important.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. So I think I'm gonna call it now, and then when we come back from next week, I guess, or the following week when we talk about it for a minute, I'm gonna call it right now. We're gonna get there. if we were to dress up, we will be overdressed. I think comparatively speaking, I think everybody's going to be very casual, very chill. There's going to be events Thursday night. Shout out to Solo. Y'all don't even know who Solo is, but Bryce wants to, take Hannibal and I out for some cocktails.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say all these people are gonna want to party. There's gonna be something afterwards. Everybody's gonna be chill. There's gonna be people wearing sandals. I think Bobby called it, so I think we just go as us. I'm gonna dress casual like I usually do. That's what. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm going with. We're gonna be in California, so I'm good.
When you talk casual to me, I'm like homeless. Like don't tell me casual because
like
I can get
sweatpants and a wife beater.
Sweatpants, Crocs with the socks on, maybe a shirt with a hole in it. Like I go real casual.
Yeah.
Like the biggest insult to me is when I used to have the W-2 and I come in to do work, and I worked at a dog boarding place. So you were hanging out with dogs. You didn't want to wear anything too nice because dogs would, slobber all over. You usually change. And I remember a young kid, the youngest one, he was a high schooler, but he did some shifts for us after school. And I walked in one time. I didn't even know what I was wearing. He said to me, "Yo, Hannibal, you look real comfortable today." Oof. I was like, "Damn, you trying to say
like this, like a little bit of like."
Yeah, he was like, "You look like garbage. Like you're homeless. How do you come in here?" But so when you say casual, I want to make sure that it's maybe a little bit upscale because I could walk in with Crocs. I have 3 to 4 pairs of Crocs.
You wear Crocs?
Yes, I do.
That's lame, man. Oh my god.
Absolutely, it is not.
Okay, do you wear them in what do they call them? Sport mode or the other mode?
Yeah. Oh, good question, Pedro. So there's different types of Crocs. I use the all-terrain joints because I walk the dogs, and I'm always in and out. So I want to make sure I got good grip when I'm out there on the streets. Now, the funny thing about the hood, right, in Brooklyn, everyone wears Crocs.
Really?
Yeah.
And I remember when Crocs were like, first off, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to give y'all some knowledge. Hannibal might know this. I'm not sure yet. Crocs, let me ask you first. Do you know why Crocs were invented, where it started? Do you know the history behind it?
The only thing I know about Crocs is they're the most comfortable shoe I've ever had on my life, like ever. And I usually see people who wear them are in the service industry, nurses, people who are on their feet 10, 12 hours. You ever look down, they're wearing Crocs.
I'm going to give you some games. So Crocs started for kids. Moms didn't want to have to tie shoes. So Crocs were really, really popular with little kids, like toddlers and stuff. You just slide them on, boom, boom, boom. And then it became popular in the service industry because Mario something, one chef used to wear Crocs, and that was like his thing. He wore orange Crocs. So then I can't believe you wear those, bro. Do you put the shit on top? Do you put like the little things the kids do?
Oh, I did at first, but I was like, they've come off. They stupid. So I brought my son a pair. My girl has a pair. My mom has a pair. I was spreading out the Croc love.
So that's the Croc story. Anyways, that's why But I almost want to get a pair, and we'll just rock them together. We'll show up. And just wear Crocs.
I may bring a pair. Like, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me with a good time, Pedro. We have some support in the chat from Hannibal here. Lee says a grown man should never wear Crocs.
Facts.
Bobby agrees with Lee, especially in public.
Facts.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
Hold up. Listen. Unless you're from like the Middle East or something like that.
Oh no.
Like you can't wear like sandals with your toes just out unless you're on the beach. I'm one of them dudes. Like
you just old school. You guys are old. Listen, come to Brooklyn, you will see everyone wearing them. I'm not exaggerating.
Listen, Hannibal. I think we go to this event. We're gonna be us. We're both gonna look good. We know how to dress. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
no big deal. But you can't wear your Crocs, bro.
All right. I'll just wear something else. I was actually, I'm probably gonna do business casual. I may pop the collar a little bit. I'm saying like, yo, what's up? What's going on? Let's talk some business. No, I'm not gonna embarrass you. Don't worry. Just
embarrassed. If anybody's gonna embarrass somebody, it'd be me embarrassing you. What are you talking about? I'm a loudmouth. You're pretty chill.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So try to get in that LA mood. I tell you, I always felt like, and I haven't been there, but being in other places in the country, and also just being in the Midwest, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but I always felt like my vibe always seemed to be Midwest or West, where it's just I'm more calm. And I got the angry East Coast side of me, but I really will not have to be worried about someone trying to do something. And we are going to LA, so it's a little bit the same, but it's probably a more chilled environment. And we'll give some love to some hip hop that, obviously West Coast, like we say, like the biggest states in hip hop, is obviously New York, but it's California, right, as well. And, and talking about that, I know we talk a lot about Snoop Dogg as if we hate him. We don't hate him. I mean,
no, we don't hate him.
He's up there.
Overrated.
Yeah, but he was there at a very important time in hip hop, especially in the East Coast. So, I'm just thinking about all the West Coast rappers. Obviously, it starts with Snoop and Dre, Ice Cube, and all that whole group. What's I'm thinking? Well, it's Too Short, obviously Tupac. Like, if you think of some like some West Coast guys that you like, these are my must listen to artists. What comes to mind?
I listen. My list might be a little. I mean, Cube's on the top of the list. Yeah. I like the Game actually. I like some of the Game's discography, like some of his albums. I mean, they got some bumps. He's got lyrically, he's pretty decent. Nipsey Hussle he's R.I.P. He's cool. I mean, MC8, Spice One. I think I told you about Spice One back.
Definitely, that was one that I did not know, and I'm ashamed not to know. But yeah, I was listening to that.
Some of the ones Too Short. I mean, he's an OG, man. Cocktails was one of the first like little CD. Remember, you used to sell the CD singles.
Yeah.
And like just you'd buy it, it would be like 99 cents. And I remember I bought it, and it was a cocktail song, and it was like a silhouette of him, and then like it was a martini glass with like two women like sitting in the glass with like their legs up.
I know you're
talking
about.
I'm like 13. Yes. I'm like, damn, I gotta buy this, and I didn't even know the song at the point. I bought it for the cover, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It had like 2 songs, A side, B side.
Yeah.
Anyways, Too Short, definitely, he's a legend.
He's definitely a legend. He's still making music out there. One always every once in a while I still have a chance to listen to, or at least Spotify be reminding me about this dude, Warren G. I feel like Warren G didn't get the attention, considering he is literally related to Snoop Dogg. Didn't get the love. I mean, yes, Regulate.
Regulator was the best. One of that was the song of the year when that came out.
Yeah, like probably if you had
everybody was bumping that song, man.
Top 20 hip hop songs of all time. If someone said Regulate's in there, I wouldn't argue with it, right? Like, I mean, that's a pretty. It's popular. It's catchy.
That's a strong
Nate Dogg. I mean, and the thing is too, Nate, like Warren G has more songs than that. People don't realize that, but he had some. Him and Nate Dogg, like a dynamic duo, and I just love his laid back style. DJ Quick, like there's some really nice. So I love that, like West Coast rap. We don't talk about enough. Again, a little bit of me being biased to where I live, but there's some nice stuff. So on the plane, traveling, going there, I'm going to be all in the whole West Coast rap thing. Well, I mean, obviously Kendrick, obviously he's leading the charge right now, but like all the classics, I'll be listening to. So
no, I think that's a good idea. I think. If anything, man, like I think, you're gonna be listening to some West Coast. I think I haven't listened to Spice One in a while, so I'll just get in a really angry mood before we go to this event.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That'll kind of balance me out. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be good.
Yeah, you don't want to go in there too happy. You want to make sure you stay. And that's the thing too. Like I guess I was kind of forgot. I kind of went back and talked about the hip hop stuff. The feel of East Coast, that Northeast. Angry, things are going to happen. You're going to have to fight somebody, and there's actually a clip. I actually maybe have a chance to show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. I don't know if you watch the show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've never seen a full episode, but I obviously know of the show, and then I've seen clips, but I've never sat down and watched the episode of that show.
Okay, so this is just a 40-minute clip. It kind of represents like when you come from the city. They're from Philadelphia, and you guys might know about Philly. It's pretty rough, right? It's really crazy.
They're always angry there.
He's always angry right over there. And this episode, these two main characters, they move to the suburbs, right? And totally different vibe. And this is a scene where a neighbor comes up to them to talk to them. And I'll just show you real quick. It kind of represents, because I had this feeling too sometimes. And you're like, why am I feeling this way? But let me show you real quick. See if you can catch what I'm saying here.
Huh? Hey, you must be the new neighbors. Name's Wally Schmidt. No relation to Mike, but don't tell my wife. Boy, it sure is a hot one today, huh? Okay. Nice to meet you, boys.
They're like, why is he talking to us?
Exactly, right? Like, what the fuck? You look at him.
What the hell was that all about? He just comes up and starts talking to us. Some guy comes up to me. I don't know what he's up to. No, it's like the whole time I'm staring at him. I'm thinking, does he have a knife? Are we gonna have to take this bitch out right now?
You know what's funny? It's like where I live in St. Louis, like it doesn't have great crime rate. Like it's kind of bad. But like my neighbors, they're all very talkative and hey, how's
super
it going?
nice.
Hey,
yeah.
Today was really nice. So my neighbor Joe, he's 2 houses down. He's outside. I'm like, hey Joe, what's it going, Nate? And I'm like, yeah, like that's at Midwest. In Philly and New York, you ain't getting that.
No, you don't do that. You must. You have to know that person, or I've seen him so many times that it's cool. We don't talk to people. We just don't. It's just because first of all, you see so many people every day. So like taking a train, right? You are standing in a train car with 100 people in this cart, and everyone is avoiding eye contact. Because if you look at someone, the first thing they ask you, look at you like, what?
What?
Got a problem? Is something happening? How can I help you? Yes, usually
people are on like edge almost,
Yes, especially if you try and look, talk to a female. She's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "No, I guess I can't. I can't help you." But yeah, it's gonna be a great time, and obviously we're gonna be, out there doing our thing. We'll see. I don't know if we're gonna do anything in terms of creating anything. I don't know. I'm sure you're gonna be because I'm
probably gonna be filming. I don't know. I think there's gonna be opportunity for both of us to do some stuff. I think we'll see. But I think there's going to be some opportunities. And there's one guy I talked to that wants to come out. I think he is going to come out. He wants to film some stuff and do interviews. He has a channel within that community. So I think it's just going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, it's business, but then we get to hang out a little bit and just be in a different city. Neither of us have been in. So I think it's going to be amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have a great time. So, and if anything goes silly and crazy, we'll definitely talk about it here. I mean, I have no problem, letting everyone know that I made an ass out of myself and I packed wrongly and I only had Crocs on. And then Pedro's like, listen, we gotta go buy some sneakers now. You can't come in here.
We're gonna have to hit the mall and get you some kicks if you show up in Crocs. I'm not walking in there with you with the Crocs.
Fair enough.
Somebody's gonna nudge me like, who's this guy?
Who's this homeless man that's walking around? Because there's a lot of homeless.
It is homeless situation over there. Like, do you have a ticket, sir? Do you have a ticket? Can I see your ticket?
That's funny. All right. We have a few stories we want to talk about, some NBA topics. So, Larry Bird versus Stephen Curry. I don't know if there's much of really debate. I think we can all agree that Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time. But there was a back and forth that was going on between JJ Redick and Mad Dog Russo, whatever his name is, on the show First Take. And this is the thing that it was a little odd to me. And I don't know, I guess I fall for it, because we're talking about it. Because why am I talking about this? We kind of already know the answer to this, but whatever. It is what it is, right? So, I got the wrong link. I talk about why NBA stars don't play in the All-Star game. I think we already know that. They don't care. But so basically he's saying, or JJ Redick was saying that Larry Bird shouldn't be really necessarily in the conversation necessarily in terms of the greatest shooter of all time, because Russo was like, he should, Larry Bird should get some points because he played in a more physical era. JJ said no, because how Curry gets his three-pointers, Marcus Smart is grabbing him and he's getting beat up and banged all day. And Dominique Wilkins came out and he called JJ Redick stupid. Like he doesn't know basketball, which I thought was a bit aggressive.
Well, Wilkins is an old head too. He played against Larry Bird. They played against each other. So.
Yeah, so it could be a little bit, but I was surprised how aggressive Dominique came out. I don't know if everyone's still upset about JJ Redick calling, some of the past players, firemen and plumbers and stuff, that there's still some issue with talking negatively about the people who paved the way for him. And another thing too, I think because JJ Redick didn't really put a huge stamp on his game, so it's like anything he's saying is like, yo, bro, you didn't really do much. And again, he had a long NBA career.
He did, and he had a great collegiate career. So he was a good player, player, but
good role player.
He can get you 20 a night on some nights of the week. He was a good player, good 3-point shooter, like really good. He was a good player.
But is the issue is we need to stop comparing players from different eras? Is that the issue, or is Russo correct? Larry Bird had a jump, like he was shooting threes, man. I mean, we see the 3-point shooting contest. He would, first of all, he would talk shit to you and drop like 40 on you. If he,
Larry was a savage. He's known for being just like the best trash talker. Like he'd walk down you hear stories. He'd walk down the opposing team's bench, like, all right, who's guarding me tonight? And they, I'm dropping 40, and he would just walk away, like, and he'd drop 40. Like Larry Bird was a legend, man.
So where you fall in this conversation? Do you think JJ Redick should just gave Larry Bird the flowers? Like, yeah, you're right. He should be up there. It was physical.
I think if you ask JJ Redick, he's going to say, well, Larry Bird's one of the best players of all time. Like, I think he would honestly say that. But I don't think he's wrong. And this is why. Stephen Curry is a better 3-point shooter than Larry Bird. Just all the metrics would say that. The percentage, the sheer amount of shots that he's made, right? We'll say that, right? Now, the reason where he's off is because, like you said, we can't compare these generations because the amount of 3-point shots that were taken, much less made in Larry Bird's era, were completely different than now, right? The game has completely changed. Plus, Larry Bird wasn't a point guard or two guard. He was a small forward, power forward. Small forward, but he played in the paint as well. He played inside, outside.
He had a damn near layup package. I mean, he would get to the hole, phenomenal. And he left, right. You know, when he was a little younger, he dunked it. So it's like, look, and that's where, Dominic Wilkins and, Dominic was a beast, man. I mean, but you're right. This quote right here kind of says, like, I guess he's getting tired of JJ Redick kind of shitting on some of the older heads. Don't crap on us to prove your point.
Yeah.
I don't, the problem is the whole sport debate and following Skip and Stephen A. You have to be as provocative and as emotional as possible to get the views, get the people watching. Mm-hmm. Do you think JJ Redick was crapping?
I don't think he was. I think he's just saying that Stephen Curry is a better 3-point shooter, and that is, to me, that is it's hard to say fact, but I think it's pretty close to it because Larry Bird at that point was a great 3-point shooter, but the game was different. So he was, I bet if we looked it up, Larry Bird attempted maybe 4 3-pointers a game. I would say 4 to 5. Stephen Curry attempts that many in the first half, right? So it's so clearly like the game is different. Their games are different. Larry Bird, like Bobby just said, he would fit into today's NBA game, though. And he would probably, if he was playing in today's NBA game, shoot a lot more threes. But he'd probably be a
better, like Luka. People like to use Luka as like, supposed to be baby Bird. Larry was more of a savage, and Luka's a savage.
Oh, Larry was more sad. I mean,
but Larry was like angry at, he's a dude from Indy, country boy. No one thought he could play, and he come in and like destroy people. So I just saw this right now. So Bird only averaged 2 attempts a game. How that's possible?
That's what I'm saying. So I said 4, and I was even way off because that's my point. Is that he was a good 3-point shooter, but we remember the 3-point contest when he shoots the last shot and he puts his finger up. He didn't even take his warm-up jacket off. So we're remembering these times in history. But when you look at the actual film, he was more mid-range and layup package. And he was also a phenomenal rebounder and facilitator, right?
Yeah.
He was a guy that was going to give you 25 to 26 points, 11 or 12 rebounds, and then like 8 assists. So he did it all, right? But he did not shoot the 3-pointer like Stephen Curry. So JJ Redick is absolutely correct. Yeah. When you look at the numbers, right?
So when Russo claims that Bird was a better 3-point shooter,
it's not true. Yeah,
he doesn't have the numbers to back it up, and the game wasn't set for people to launch 3-point shots because you were supposed to pound the ball at the inside. So he's a 7-footer, and they're supposed to back and then maybe someone gets open because someone gets doubled. Like that was the game. Now it feels like positionless basketball, and everyone who, all right, in NBA right now, who has a post-up game? Is Joel?
Joel does, but he also shoots.
He'll shoot a 3-point. But I'm just thinking like someone who consistently would actually even be down there to do like some post-up game. Like so, is Joel?
You don't even
Giannis
see,
sometimes.
But you don't even see a lot of post-up. You don't see guys feeding the block and guys. You just
like somebody like a guy. They throw it into the post. We missed that, man.
The game's different, man.
Yeah.
Spacing of the floor is different because you have these guys that play the 4 position, 5 position that can stretch the floor.
Yeah.
You have guys like Joel Embiid at the top of the key. The pick and roll is different. So you just don't have these guys posting up. Now, situationally, you'll see like LeBron post up every once in a while. Even some guards will post up and do, Kobe, when he was playing, 10, 12 years ago, he was posting up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he's posted. He was following Jordan, like Jordan, as he got older,
you don't see it,
he developed that, but yeah, Cliff Dog is 100% correct. The game is completely different. But Larry Bird was a beast. I guess Russo was just trying to give him some flowers, but then, like you said, when he goes with he's the greatest shooter of all time, but he didn't have the opportunity. I would say that the game was different.
Yeah.
Maybe if he was here, he could have been up there because the guy, he just launched him. That's not the game is. And I guess you would blame with the analytics when they say, listen, shoot a lot of threes. That helps. It wins games. And I think maybe in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, and that that will help. I think, at least when I realized that you need some big men to do well in the playoffs, especially when things get a little slower, people get a little tighter. People playing 100% defense and not playing around like, all-star game, letting people just go to the hole. Like, you playing hard defense, you want to get some big men in there. So it was an interesting conversation back and forth, but I didn't watch a whole lot of Larry Bird because towards the end of the career, that's when I was I was born in '84. That's when he was probably dominating.
Mostly highlights for me. I didn't.
But the highlights, you can tell this dude was a beast.
Yeah. Just if you listen to like Magic Johnson talk and like, Magic Johnson and him went at it for years. I think it was like they met in the finals so many times.
Yeah.
And,
it's the point they didn't like each other until like a commercial where they actually like hung out and realized they were friends.
Yeah.
And that's what I miss about the NBA. The NBA, it's so global, and these men are basically brands and entities on their own, and they all know each other because of stupid social media and how fast they communicate. So, like, it goes back to that All-Star game. Since, back in the day when no one really communicated with each other unless you was on the team, you didn't like each other. So you didn't want to.
You didn't have as much of a chance to know each other until they until they did a commercial, and then they're, in each other's town. I think I believe Larry
Magic
Bird
was in his town.
Yeah, Larry Bird brought Magic to go see his parents, and they bonded in that regard. But before it was like, who's this?
I'm gonna take you out.
Who's this white boy? He can't play with us. And then this white boy can't play. Like,
Magic
Johnson would say that stuff, and like, but before, like, we didn't have the connection because of social media and all that. We didn't have it, so you had to actually physically see somebody to get to know them and to know about them. And now all these guys know each other. They hang out. They go on vacation. It's kind of
vacation together. They got business together. Some of them got this, that. Some
of them share baby mamas together. Like they're like all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say Asians, but yeah, they're probably sharing baby mamas too.
Same thing.
It's weird, man. It is so weird. I mean, we already jumping around, but there's a lot of beautiful women. Why y'all all have to go over the same Jenner? Kylie Jenner, this Jenner, that Jenner, Kardashian, this Instagram, like y'all all.
What's the one? One of the sisters is dated like an all-star team, right? Like Blake Griffin and Jordan Clarkson and Ben Simmons.
Is the one. I think it's
And Devin Booker, like she's dated all of them. Yeah.
And you think at that age, but I think they don't even care, man. Like they're monsters in terms of like they're successful, money. I don't know if everyone is telling them, like a friend is like, "Hell, dude, that's kind of weird, bro." Like it's kind of like you're part of a company, and you're not say you call them coworkers, but kinda, right? You guys are employed by the NBA, so your coworkers are banging this chick, and then you're like, "You bang her?" And you act that's your girl, like
but if she looks good, if she looks good enough, who are we kidding, right? If she
right? I mean, no, she's a beautiful woman, but in terms of even a beautiful woman, you look at that, but you're like, she's been around with 4 coworkers. It seems like that woman was a cop, right? That cop that had relations with 5 people in the department. All right, you see her already with 2 guys in the apartment, and you think, I'm gonna try it out, like. That don't seem like a great idea.
Maybe she bought that life though. Maybe the word gets around. It's like I got to try that. But don't go outside with her. Like we've seen pictures. Was it Ben? Is it Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin, Devin Booker, Jordan Clarkson,
and there's
another
one.
There's another one that was pretty good too. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, she had a
Light
pretty
skin.
good.
They're all light skinned. They're all
Yeah,
light skinned.
she's a type.
She's got a type for sure. She wants to go black, but not all the way black.
Not
She's like
all
light
the way
skinned.
black,
You
it's
know
just a little bit. But yeah, I just thinking that you're right. Like you work at a company, you seen this one girl dating a bunch of coworkers. You're like, all right, I may mess with her, but I ain't gonna let people know.
I'm about to Google this right now. Hold up.
Yeah, you know the other player.
Kendall Jenner. Okay, no, I don't need Kendall Jenner nudes. Hold on, I need Kendall Jenner boyfriends. Hold on, let's see. I know. Okay, look. Hold up, boy. Look
Bobby
at this
says,
boyfriend list. It's one of the top Google searches. Hold up, Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me see.
He's at the Celtics right now, I think. Right? I think so.
No, not Tatum. Oh, hold up. Why can't I?
You'd be mad if Tatum went and fell for that.
Oh, listen, that'd be.
You can't do that.
List. This poor girl, she just needs to find love. She's like J-Lo, man. She just, everybody.
Hey, J-Lo's with that guy. What's it, Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck, yeah. Jordan Clarkson was the first. Blake Griffin, there we go. Okay, let's see. Hold up. Ben Simmons. Okay, we already knew that. I don't know who that guy is. He's not basketball. Devin Booker, we knew that. Maybe it was just.
Yeah, those are starting five. It got to be somebody. It doesn't matter. Yeah, poor Ben Simmons, man. We don't know what we're gonna do with that guy. I mean, when he leaves or something happens, I'll be the first one to let you know. I don't know what's going to happen with him. They're just getting less and less minutes, and it's at this point it's deserved. He's not providing enough. He might just not be on the court at this point.
If anything, man, like I mean, I think Philly. We talked about Philly earlier, right?
Yeah,
it's a rough play, and they got when they lost that playoff series, and he was passing up layups and passing to somebody else when he was literally under the basket, and he's 6'10". Like, I think they got him here, and he hasn't recovered from that.
No, and we kept thinking like, hey, he probably is going to be. He'll have like the best sports psychologist. He will fix this, and we don't know how much effort he's putting in. And sometimes some people just don't like the sport. Like they do it because it's a job. And they're really athletic and they make a lot of money doing it. But it's like, do you love doing this? Yeah. Maybe all the love kind of got pushed away. I mean,
is he from Canada? He's Canadian, right?
He's Canadian, yeah.
That explains a lot. He's like Drake. Like, those light-skinned Canadians, man. You can't trust them.
Hey, what's that dude? Wiggins is Canadian, and he was not number one guy.
He ain't light-skinned,
he realized
he's different. He's different.
And he did his thing. So, not all Canadians suck. Yeah. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is a very interesting one. So I want to get Pedro's thoughts because he may actually have a different thought than I, in mind.
Okay.
So Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce was talking. I don't know what they were doing, but they were talking in some kind of podcast or something where they're able to spit out their opinions. They said that players the only players that should be eligible for the Hall of Fame, the NBA Hall of Fame, must win a championship. Both of them agreed on this. They're like, that if you didn't win a championship, how can you be considered a Hall of Famer? That's a very, very hot take because
that's a very hot take. But it's easy for them to say that because they both won championship.
And they won one. They won one.
Only one.
And they should have, and it was kind of like a super team. They had their first super team. They only were able to win one championship. But now since they won, and they love milking that damn championship. Every year you see them doing another
reunion or show or this or that. Stuff. Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I'll say this. I do think that some of the Hall of Fame, especially like in baseball and but overall, just Hall of Fame and all the sport, it's starting to get a little diluted, a little watered down. Guys getting in, it's like, is there really a Hall? Are they really one of the best of all time? I think it's easy for them to say that because they've won one. I think this is a two-part here. Mm-hmm. While I agree that it should be the creme of the creme, it should be, and part of that is, when you win a championship, especially if you get to 2, it's like, all right. And if you were a good player on that team, you're probably going to be in the Hall of Fame, right? But if the opposite part of that is, we then would allow mediocre players to have a championship to get in, and then you're excluding like a Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Dominique Williams, Patrick Ewing. Those guys can't get in, but like a Rajon Rondo gets in because he's got 2 championships.
Yeah. I mean, we look at the players currently. So Carmelo Anthony, he's not a Hall of Famer.
But he is.
But I'm saying like he's not. First of all, I don't think he's even playing right now.
No,
so and under there,
Chris Paul.
I mean, yeah, Chris Paul. Chris Paul is probably one of the best point guards ever played, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
Stockton, he's top 5. Yeah. Iverson did not win a championship. So this idea doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It just seems a little weird. And yes, obviously having a championship is important.
It helps you get in.
It helps you get in.
Yeah.
But not the best, greatest players, Hall of Famers are necessarily win the championship. They just don't. Sometimes it's a team sport.
Who do you think that hasn't won a championship? You name some current players.
Yeah, so Carmelo Anthony.
But ones that haven't, like I named. Who do you think is the best player to not win a championship in the NBA?
The best player that never won a championship.
Never won and you can't say Patrick Ewing. You can't say Patrick Ewing. All right,
no, I mean, even in the era, there were better centers. I would say John Stockton, man.
Oh, really? John Stockton?
Yeah, that Stockton, Malone.
Yeah.
They should have won one. It's just they got Jordan. Like they gotta win in.
Twice,
I mean, like Olajuwon, he was able to get 2 because Jordan wasn't there. Like he kind of skated and he was a beast too. But people forget how great John Stockton was. Man, he was the man. But I'm
all-time leader in steals and assists.
Yeah.
All-time leader in steals and assists.
Is there any player that I'm probably not remembering off the top of my head? You think like is the greatest that never won a championship?
In NBA, I mean,
I love Iverson. But
Iverson was really good and won a scoring championship. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's obviously Barkley won an MVP, never won.
Barkley was he was a beast.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna look it up, see if there's any names I can come up with.
I think as far as some of the current guys, you mentioned Chris Paul, obviously Carmelo, but I think of a guy like I just had it in my brain. Not Iverson. Oh, Tracy McGrady, I think is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, definitely.
There was a couple years there where him and Kobe were basically the best 2 players. Tracy McGrady was multiple year scoring championship. He was a bucket. He was a bucket with the Magic.
He just picked some wrong. He should have went to Houston. He probably should have went because he thought Yao Ming was going to be.
Yeah,
and it would have been, but Yao Ming just couldn't stay healthy. But
Karl Malone. I mean, he's like 3rd or 4th on all-time scoring list.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley. I mean, Barkley was a menace, man. I mean, so I think of guys like that. Most of the really good players from like. If you go back to like the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, most of those really good players won, right?
Yeah.
Most of them did. Dominique never won one, but I don't think he's in that crop there. But
there's a list I see on it's not official, but some names. So they have Iverson, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Steve Nash. I wouldn't put the greatest, but I mean he had 2 MVPs and he should have got one. Again, it's some weird timing, some weird stuff happened. Obviously Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller. I mean, Vince Carter.
Vince Carter. I
mean, he stayed. Maybe he shouldn't stay with in
Toronto.
Toronto for too long. Like it's who knows. But yeah, Vince Carter was
the problem. He was really good. I think. You mentioned, I don't know. I want to lean toward Malone was just so good, so many points, and he never won one. But I do agree with Stockton, though, too, because he's all-time leader in steals and assists and was getting 18, 19 points a game. Stockton was, a lot of people give him shit like he shouldn't be one of the top, and they're like, oh, he's not even in my top 5. Like, the guy has the most assists and the most steals.
I mean,
he wasn't flashy.
Yeah, that Houston... That Utah Jazz team was a team you didn't play on any video games. You didn't pick Utah Jazz on NBA Jam. Like you didn't they were so fundamental. They were kind of like the Spurs. A couple of generations like later. You can't do anything with this team. All it did is pick and roll. Yeah, they couldn't stop it. Everyone knew that was going to happen with Malone and Stockton. He couldn't stop what was happening. And then they had a strong team with Jerry Sloan. Did Jerry Sloan pass? I think he may have passed.
You know what? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute. It was a solid team, and it's one of those teams that just kind of got caught up in that Jordan just doing what Jordan does.
Yeah,
just
man.
being dominant. And
I think
you know,
if you look at the NBA for like a 30-year stretch, you basically had about 5 guys I can think of that prevented so many good players from not getting a chip. You know, so you think about like Larry Bird and Magic in the '80s prevented some people from not, doing what they need to do. And then Jordan, obviously, Olajuwon for those couple years. But then you go to like basically Kobe and LeBron. Like
yeah,
in the next generation, they were in so many championships. They never faced each other, which was odd. But like those guys, those 5-6 guys just stopped so many. Tim Duncan, stopped so many guys from winning a championship because they were so good for so long. And
Robert dropped him with Grant Hill.
yeah, he got
Grant
hurt
Hill
though.
could
He
have,
was hurt a lot.
but he still got in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
And the fact that he was able to rebound and still be in the league, that was like a miracle upon itself.
But one thing
Jerry
we have
Sloan
to
did pass away.
Oh, he did.
3 years ago.
R.I.P. One thing we got to remember though, with the NBA, it's high school, college, and NBA with the Hall of Fame. So, Grant Hill was a fantastic collegiate player. So his NBA career, in my opinion, is not Hall of Fame worthy because he didn't. He had 4 or 5 really good years, but like that's not enough. But because he was National Player of the Year, won a couple of championships in Duke, when you put it all together, then it kind of fits in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think like Carmelo is probably a first ballot. Obviously, his numbers that he put up, but he won a college championship.
He did.
So
as a freshman,
the Olympics, he got a few gold medals. That does count.
I think he's got the most. I think he has 4. I think he's got 4.
It's just some choices he made with the teams. I mean, Denver was as strong as it was, and then he decided to go to New York. That didn't work out, and he played his best years with the Knicks. We're sorry. That probably wasn't the best idea. I mean, they had I would say maybe 2 good seasons. He didn't embrace Jeremy Hill and that Jeremy Lin, and that was his downfall because that would have been something special. He rejected Duke because he thought the guy was too popular too quickly. Like, he's Asian. Yeah. That's the point. There's nothing more to it. If he would have embraced it, I think it would have been a better situation because Mike D'Antoni was the coach at the time, and Mike D'Antoni know how to get the most out of his point guards.
Oh yeah,
the system, everything fits a really good point guard that has some level of athleticism, to speed, to go up and down the court. And for some reason, Carmelo did not want to deal with Jeremy Lin, and I don't know, Jeremy Lin maybe he thought he was too hot, and he probably was smelling himself too much.
That whole situation was weird. That whole it was such like a high he was on for those. I remember that Linsanity, right?
It was
for like a month or 2.
Weird,
it was crazy. He was
dropping 30 some on the Lakers.
On the Lakers,
he was dropping the game winning shots into Toronto. Yeah. Like it was. I've never seen anything like it.
It was crazy.
Love to say that. We have never seen a guy just come out of nowhere, sleep on the couch, gets on a team,
and dropping 30 pieces, like crazy, just weird,
and then gets overpaid to go to the Rockets, and then they got.
But I think part of the mystique is that he was Asian. We hadn't seen, you know what I'm saying? You had Yao Ming. It was like, who's this Asian guy? Like, what's going on? This isn't normal. If it was a black dude, white dude, okay, it's cool. He was Asian, so then you had the Asian crowd like excited. So then you have all this money coming from other parts of the world that usually don't watch basketball, and they're excited. They're in New York, a lot of Asians in New York, right? So like it was a mixture of like all that kind of storm. Because if you looked like you or I, it wouldn't have been as big of a story.
It'd be a good story, but not as big. Like what's going on? Why he's getting covers from magazines, and that may have rubbed some people off. All right, Cliff Dog, you may not appreciate this. I don't know which one's going to be more embarrassing for you guys to hear, but I've already embarrassed myself already with the Crocs. Guess who bought a Linsanity shirt?
I fucking knew you. I was waiting for you to say, I got a jersey. Oh, my God.
I didn't get a jersey. I didn't get a jersey. I got a shirt.
You got a blue one, too, didn't you?
It didn't matter what color it was or what it was the New York colors. I represent the team.
Uh-oh. Hannibal went away. He's gone. Where'd Hannibal go? I'll have to do the show alone, guys. I think Hannibal went away. There he is.
No,
You got Lynn Sanity talking. He goes away.
I was clicking over this. I was like, "What? Don't laugh!" Clicked off, and then I just clicked myself off.
That's funny.
Yes, I had the Lynn Sanity shirt. No, am I embarrassed? He must be so embarrassed. We thought it was a future. Like in my head, I was like,
"Oh yeah,
he's going to be the starting point guard." And then because the reason why he kind of came on and it was so strong, Carmelo was hurt at that time.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So we all assume, okay, Carmelo comes back, he got his point guard, and then it just started some issues. You noticed the way when Carmelo was being interviewed, he didn't seem to be all that enthusiastic about it. It seemed like he was a little annoyed.
I think Carmelo
he got jealous.
Carmelo's the kind of guy at that point too. He wanted all the spotlight, and he had
but
New York, and it's like his team, and then he got this new guy. So I think he was a little bitter, maybe, or a little jealous or something.
I think it just like they thought he was getting too much attention too quickly, too many opportunities too quickly, and then when the Houston Rockets wanted to pay way too much for him, it was like even the next.
But think about it though. He was going to be their next Yao Ming, and Houston Rockets made a lot of money off Yao Ming.
Yes.
Right? Like a lot of merchandising and a lot of money. So I mean, I get it. It made sense. And then like Clifton, he went to the Lakers. And Kobe's like, who no. And Kobe, there's this infamous video of them practicing, and Kobe's basically like punching him in the chest, like, and talking crap to him. And like Jeremy Lin could not handle that Mamba mentality.
No, he wasn't that guy. No. And his confidence was already shattered in the Rockets because I think they thought that he could just do everything already. Like, no. It was a system. It was a coach building up his confidence. He wasn't ready, but he ran for the money, which is fine. You go to get the money. Yeah. But then once they had Harden, it's like, yo, all right, get this guy out of here. Yeah. Like why Harden was at this point.
I just
mode.
Yeah. Oh, he was. I got a question because I feel very confident that you've seen this clip or heard about it. It was several years ago. So Jeremy Lin, Kenyon Martin. Remember Kenyon Martin?
Yeah. That.
Do you remember Kenyon Martin giving Lin a hard time about having braids?
It was dreads. It was some weird dread thing going on.
Or something. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, your cultural appropriation." But I remember what was funny was Jeremy Lin clapped back at Kenyon saying, "You got like Chinese characters on your arm." Yeah. You remember that? And I thought that was kind of
Jeremy Lin is a cool dude. You hear like smart. He's very religious. Like he is just. Definitely no mama mentality. Did not have that. He probably still needed more confidence because also that happened his first year when Lynn Sandy was blown up. He played in the playoffs versus the Heat and he got destroyed. He couldn't get the ball over the half court. They were hounding him and there were and I don't know if Carmelo was even playing, but Knicks didn't do well. So it's starting that, but he still need that reinforcement, that guidance from a coach who believes in him, but he goes to a different spot. And I think and we never know how successful some of these NBA players can be. I've watched tons of YouTube videos about what happened to this guy, what happened to this guy. And I'm like, what happened to him? And then it's an injury, bad team, bad system. Like I was watching ones about Adam Morrison. I was like, what the hell happened? Why that didn't work out? Or like so many players that we've seen on draft night, the first 10 picks, and they, you see their highlights, and you're like, and then a few years later, you don't remember who they are, but you kind of like, what happened? And it's always injury or some mental health issues or bad system, bad coach. It's always something like that.
I think injury can be one I can kind of forgive because like, hey, you get hurt, like that sucks.
It is what it is. Yeah,
you can't really make your body do certain things for especially when it's injury and then like you rehab and then another injury, it's harder to come back, right?
Yeah.
But my theory is once you're talented enough to get into the NBA and get a contract, you're good. Like you're so good.
Elite of elite. Yeah.
Yeah. Like most of these guys, I'm not talking LeBrons and Kobe's and MJs and like, the Barkleys, like those guys are like next level good. They're Hall of Fame good. But I'm talking just everybody else below that, right? They're pretty equal, I think, in my opinion. Coming into the NBA, they're all super talented, regardless of position. They're so good. What either takes you to the Hall of Fame level or takes you down to the Adam Morrison or Jeremy Lin or whoever else, right? The Eddie Currys, like we talked about before.
Yeah, Eddie Curry.
What takes you down from there, if you take away the injuries, is the work ethic. is how much time are you willing to put in? So you got your money, you're rich now. You basically set your family up, your future generations, if you handle your finances right. Is they don't practice like a Kobe and a LeBron. They don't take care of their body. They don't put the effort because they don't have the drive to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's either
They're
there's
just
the
good with being in the league.
passion or like they're just comfortable or
Right.
so like every once in a while, I'll check out the Last Dance, right? Towards the very end of the documentary where Jordan's like, I know this is not gonna make me look good. I may seem like I'm a tyrant, but I never asked anyone to do anything that I didn't do. And people who say criticize me, you probably because you didn't win anything. Like he was very like, this is how I played the game, and you could tell he was sad he was upset because I think he realized that he sacrificed a lot. He sacrificed relationships for people. There's people he still don't talk to. People
he wasn't known for being a good teammate. He was a really horrible team, but he pushed his guys. So it's like he had to figure out like, do I want to push my teammates, be an asshole, and like be so psychotic about like so crazy about
the obsession to win that you lose friendships, you lose and that's the question I think a lot of people have to ask, or at least ask yourself, like, how much do you want to put in to get that kind of like Jordan level, right? I mean, most of us can't, we won't get to that point, but that Jordan level, that obsession to win, you are going to be seen like not a nice person. So like people are not gonna go to hang out with you. Like they're gonna hang out with LeBron, right? The people are gonna hang out with LeBron. Again, LeBron seems like a very nice guy, but he doesn't have that Kobe, MJ,
but I think if LeBron did, he might not have as many friends and everybody loves them and the fellow players and want to play with him, but he might have a couple more championships. He might. He's already got 4, which is unbelievable. It really is. He's exceeded expectations. LeBron James has. All the pressure he had coming in, like people give LeBron a lot of shit, but this guy has exceeded expectations like nobody else.
He's officially, I think he's my top 3. He's my top 3.
He has to be in everybody's top 3. I don't think that's
some people don't. Yeah, some people don't like him in top 3. All right. So I don't know if you want to get triggered before we end this show, but you were giving a lot of love to LeBron, so you gotta take it. All right. Gilbert Arenas explains why LeBron James is officially the GOAT over Michael Jordan. So let's put this up here for Pedro to check out.
Did y'all see this guy right behind me here? You want to trigger me? I thought you was gonna be nice. Now you're really trying to trigger me.
You would give a lot of love to LeBron. So I thought maybe you could vouch for Gilbert Arenas, a man who really maximized his time in the NBA, to say the least, right? So he gives out his opinion. Let me see if I can read it instead of watching the video. If he had a video. Let's see. All right. So Gilbert Arenas explains why he believes LeBron James is the GOAT over Jordan. He referenced James passing the scoring record. And he says that the reason why it's a big deal because Jordan is a score first player. That's what he's saying. And LeBron is a pass first.
How many years did Jordan? LeBron James he's played several more years than Michael Jordan did. So that's why their career average, Michael Jordan has more of a career average per game. So if you look at it, if Michael Jordan would have played as long as LeBron, Michael Jordan would be the career leader. That's just a factual statement. But LeBron's longevity has allowed him to have that record, which is amazing. Yeah. But the logic is flawed in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is a quote right here. When you say he's not a better scorer than Jordan, but he is first on the list, he's first. If Jordan was the scorer first and LeBron was the passer first, then the passer first has more points than the scorer first. Just let it go. LeBron is not a natural scorer. I disagree. I think he is, but whatever. That's what makes it worse. The non-scoring mind is leading to most selfish stats. If Jordan had John Stockton's assist record, and if Jordan had Bill Russell's rings, I get it. But Jordan is not number one in any of these categories.
Yeah, but the game's officiated differently. It was much more physical. You could hand check back then. You can't hand check now. The game's opened up. The 3-point. LeBron's taken, 100 times more threes, so you're going to have more points. Like Jordan, the game's different. So you can't compare the two, but Jordan averaged 30 points per game in his career. LeBron's under that. So clearly one's a better scorer. I mean, Kevin Durant is a better pure scorer than LeBron, in my opinion. Overall, I think LeBron's better than Kevin Durant because he does more on the court.
At one point, Carmelo was a better scorer than LeBron. At one point.
Score, yeah, but not player.
Score, not anything.
Sure.
The Carmelo was allergic to defense, and he couldn't pass. So he was a decent passer.
No, he could. He had one of the craziest box score. The box score where Carmelo scored 60. He had 0 assists in that game.
Get out of here. Let me look up this. I'm gonna look this up right now.
Look it up.
Damn, Carmelo, what's wrong with you, dude?
0 assists.
They called him when he gave him the ball in the block. It was a black hole. That ball wasn't coming back out.
No, he was a bear though. Carmelo was a bear on the block.
Yeah.
He was such a beast, man, down there. Look up Carmelo's high scoring game. I believe he dropped a 60 piece or 61, and he had 0 assists in that game.
I'm trying to look for it right now. Nearest scary point. I'm trying to look at the. I
mean, not 1 assist. One assist. One. That means you didn't pass the ball at all, basically. Over the course of NBA games, most guys get 1 assist. Even the centers will get 1 assist.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for that game. I can't find it right now, but it don't surprise me that would happen. Because they would say that, like, you give the ball to Carmelo, that ball is not coming back anywhere. Yeah. And that's kind of the issue that happened with the Knicks too. Like, all right, so we watching you do your thing, and then if you miss, then we're all standing there. No one's in rhythm. No one's expecting to move to get the ball. So ball movement of the players kind of limits because we know you're just going to shoot the ball, and you're not Kobe where the level of, Kobe was a bit of a ball hog, but Kobe was doing everything.
Kobe, bro, but
he would put the strongest defense. All right, this is the dude. He's gonna really put the effort. Carmelo was like, I'm gonna chill on defense, but give me the ball. Give me the ball. So I do my ISO thing.
Yeah.
And shoot a jump shot.
He was so good. I remember him at Syracuse that freshman year. He was, loved his game, man. He's so good. His package was like his mid range, then at the end of his career, he got a 3 ball a little bit better, I thought, but he was in the post, man, his moves. He was sneaky fast. He was big. He could rebound well. Carmelo was. I really wanted him to get a championship when he went to L.A. I thought it would happen, but it didn't. But.
Yeah, he went there a little too late. And he's not in the league now, so it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in putting him back on, which is I find that bad or weird. They must see something that most of us don't. I feel like the same way with
but he's older. He's slow. He's older. He doesn't play defense, so he's gonna be a liability. He can go out and get you some points. He did pretty good with the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
In OKC, he did all right, but he's a couple years even removed from that, right? So, he's a little slower, and you see video of him in the gym and stuff, but that's different than playing in a game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he's a Hall of Famer regardless, first ballot. So he had Lala Anthony. He's lived a blessed life. He's good.
He did, and he let that go. He fucked that up. But maybe she was annoying. I have a question before we end it. Who do you think is I think you already know. I think you may already have the answer, but since it was Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, who's a better player, Paul Pierce or Carmelo Anthony?
Oh, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, yeah, absolutely.
Paul Pierce. He's
Paul
clutch.
Pierce was
he did his thing.
He was good. He was good.
He did have better plays around him. A better system.
Overall, I think Carmelo Anthony is a better player. I do. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. Paul Pierce thinks he is better.
Paul Pierce thinks he's better than Dwayne Wade. I remember him. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, Paul Pierce.
Yeah, you could tell they fired him. He was saying some stupid stuff when he was doing the. It's funny just because you play the game, and when you come out, I forgot he was like already writing off one team, like the first game or the second game, and then the other team came back and like blew out the doors. I'm like, wow, your analysis, it's really bad, But yeah, if you had to pick a prime Carmelo Anthony, definitely.
For me, yeah. I think overall, Paul Pierce has had a better career if you look, because he got the championship. He was in several, Eastern Conference Finals.
He stayed in one team, I believe. I don't think he ever left the Celtics.
No, he went to Brooklyn. He went to the Nets. Remember?
Oh yeah, he did.
And then he went to the Clippers.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
When I see Patrick Ewing in that uniform. I think it's the Sonics he went to.
He went, and the Magic. He went to Orlando.
It doesn't look right. It irritates me.
Yeah.
Not as much as Jordan with the Wizards. I don't know why. And it looked weird too. But for some reason, when you see like your hometown guy,
and
with that goofy, it's like it's over. He's like, "Why are you here? Retired because you're making us all upset." But
I think, Patrick Ewing, man, would have been. He deserved to win a chip, but he just got Jordan, man.
He got Jordan. It was Jordan. It was the Pacers. It was the Heat. He was just not.
Tim Duncan and
just wasn't gonna. It's just how it is.
Olajuwon, yeah.
Bobby says Paul Pierce is a better all around player. Carmelo, biggest black hole in the universe. But that black was effective. I mean, when he was in Denver, he was the man, and he was at those times that he outplayed LeBron and some of those head to heads he had with because he was going to score more points. But but we'll see. We'll see. We're still looking at the next second half of the NBA season where Pedro is saying that the Mavs are going to win a championship. So I can't wait to laugh at him.
No. I said they're going to go to the finals. I didn't say they were going to win a championship. Did I? No, I don't think so.
I could have swore you meant all the way. What's the point?
Well, I said they're going to represent the West.
I
know I have it written down that you said the Nets were going to win a championship.
Yeah, but clearly that's not going to happen. They traded all the players away.
Can I find where I wrote that down? Let me see.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to.
Oh, there it is, right there. Look.
What about the Nets?
Make sure I don't
why are we showing that? How about what did you say? Did you say the Mavs are going to
see this? What kind of beautiful mind crap is it? Look at all this crappy handwriting.
It's all right. My handwriting is terrible too. Yeah, I get mocked all the time for it. Not as much as the Crocs thing, but yeah, I do get mocked for it. All right, so all right. We come back. I wanted to get a definitive. Is it all finals or championship?
Finals.
Okay.
I think Boston's going to win.
Boston? Okay, yeah, we'll see. Oh, before we go real quick. So they extended the coach for the Celtics.
I saw that, yeah.
Does that mean Ime Udoka is fired or what? I didn't really.
Did they suspend him? It was something like that, right?
Yeah,
so
he got suspended for a year.
Udoka is done. I'm sure they bought him out. I'm sure they had to buy out his contract.
Okay.
But if you can't have two head coaches, so he's
no. That's what I'm saying. Like by extending the other dude. I'm sorry, I don't have his name right now. I would still take him as a coach. I mean, they overblown that situation.
No, somebody's going to take him.
Just keep your wife away from him. Like that's about it. Yeah. I'll just make sure your wife is loyal.
He's going to be coaching somewhere for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't think it'd be much of a backlash. Like people cheat all the time.
Yes.
There's one left him. Nia Long left.
It's just sex. It was consensual sex. He's going to work. He's going to be fine.
I mean, I don't know what team you want him to coach the Bulls.
Yes, I'll take him. Absolutely.
And whatever wives he can get, just
don't care. Yeah, it's not my problem. I just coach my team. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. Could care less about it. I'm not going to judge that guy for being horny. I'm just not.
Yeah, he was horny. Damn.
Don't care. Yeah.
Is that a crime? Well, it could be if you use the horniness.
Well, then we're all going to jail.
Fair enough. All right. Guys, thank you for coming through again. Like, subscribe, share this rambling stuff that we be doing. Always happy to do this, hang out with you guys. Cliff Dog, hopefully everything goes well. I know I read in the chat that you're under the weather and you're doing what you gotta do, but hopefully you get healed up as fast as possible, bro. We're all thinking of you. And have a good, safe weekend out there, guys. The weather's kind of crazy, so be safe out there, whatever you're doing, and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I guess we'll catch you guys on Monday.
Monday. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace.